Becoming guru means qualified guru. It doesn't mean that automatically, due to some ecclesiastical convention, that at the time of the disappearance of the spiritual master, that one automatically becomes a guru. That's not an automatic process. It is a question of qualification. And those qualifications are described in Srila Prabhupada's books in great detail. And the fact of the matter is that the overwhelming preponderance of evidence and information is that guru means liberated, Paramahansa Uttama Adhikari Mahabhagavat. That is the definition of guru. And let me ask this question. Perhaps it's rhetorical, but let's ask this question. Who had such an understanding while Srila Prabhupada was on this planet that guru is something other than a liberated person? No one had this understanding. In fact, we understood that guru meant liberated, self-realized soul. But rather, what we've seen since the departure of Srila Prabhupada is that in the absence of persons with sufficient qualification, we've evolved elaborate rationalizations of the philosophy to substantiate something which doesn't exist. And that is a spiritual master who is not a liberated person. A spiritual master, in fact, we find, for instance, in some of the GBC resolutions, that one may become a guru simply if he has the qualification of having not fallen down within the last 5 years. As if this was a scriptural analysis of the bona fide spiritual master. Another qualification of guru. For 10 years, you have to have been chanting holy Hare Krishna 16 rounds a day and following the regulative principles. These, I beg to submit, are the qualifications of disciples, not gurus. Guru's qualification is something much more. Now, there may be a few statements, and I would submit in Prabhupada's books, if we want to limit the discussion to the law books for 10,000 years, in Prabhupada's books there may be a handful of statements which say that which give some indications there's something, some creature which is described that is something less than a self-realized soul who can be guru. But there are pages, there are hundreds of quotes which will assert that the guru must be a liberated self-realized personality. So when you go to interpret or try to determine the qualifications of a spiritual master, you have to go to the preponderance of the evidence, and any exceptional statements have to be explained in terms of that preponderance of evidence, and not that the particular statements which are in the minority are to be explained by the other way around. But to make that a little clearer, what I'm saying is that you cannot take exceptional statements and make that the rule. You have to take the preponderance of evidence and explain those exceptional statements in the light of the preponderance of evidence. So that's the answer.
You want to hear the question again? I'm not sure that was entirely on the point.
To the topic. I want to say the same thing, that essentially for the second time in a row, you've gone from the topic, whether or not Srila Prabhupada wanted a rtvik system, to another topic, whether or not the guru has to be a liberated soul, which is simply not the topic on the agenda. It appears that you're running for what you feel might be the high ground, and abandoning what might seem to be the low ground. Defend the low ground. Well, prove that Srila Prabhupada... Pardon me. Prove that Srila Prabhupada instituted a rtvik system. Come up with substantial evidence, and that's the kind of thing that'll make me surrender and send in my subscription and so on. Otherwise, if you switch the topic to a different one time after time, I lose interest.